Welcome to Money on a Mission. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Colin Evans and Dave Evans of Evans Financial Group, and we're talking all about taxation in retirement. To our viewers at home, are you ready? This is going to be a great episode. Colin, how are you today?
Wonderful. Couldn't be happier to be here.
Me too. Could not be happier to be with you. And Dave, how are you?
I'm excited.
Me too. It's going to be a great show. I mean, obviously, talking about taxes, that's a really difficult thing. People don't enjoy that very much. And I think a lot of people are under the misconception, if you will, that when you're entering the retirement years, your taxes are going to go down. That's not always the case. And Dave, I want to start out just by asking you, in case someone is a viewing audience and they're wondering, what's the difference between tax planning and tax preparation? Can we spend some time talking about what the difference would be?
We can, and I'm going to give you a good example of it. But tax preparation is recording history, and that's typically done by an accountant or CPA, whoever's preparing your taxes, he or she, and then you sign off on it and send to the IRS. But they're recording from information that you've given them. So it's not they're not making any suggestions of what you should do. You just give them W-2s, 1099s, and so forth, and they just put it in the appropriate form, and then they tell you how much you owe or how much you're getting back. And that's tax preparation.
Okay. And
tax planning is really a little bit more longer term. It's looking forward, and I've used this example before. It's like tax preparation and looking at a windshield of a car is the rearview mirror, because you're recording what's already happened, history.
Okay. And
tax preparation is looking at the whole view of the windshield. And I have a good example of that happened to me. My accountant, a number of years ago, I had been putting money into a SEP, which is a simplified employee pension, like a big IRA for a self-employed person. And my accountant would say, this is how much you can put in this year. And when he got to that point, and I said, no, I'm not going to do that. And he said, well, it's tax deductible, which is the only thing this accountant knew how to say. Not all accountants. I don't want to discourage you to have any bad remarks about other accountants. But I said, well, it's not really tax deductible. And I said, today, I'm in, back then, about a 28% tax bracket. If I handle my money properly, in my 60s and 70s, I'm going to be in a 40% bracket. Why would I deduct it at 28 and take it out at 40?
Right.
And I said, and he said, well, I just want to let you know it's tax deductible. I said, tell me another way to put it. And he said, when you put it that way. And I said, tell me another way. You're an accountant. Tell me if there's a different way for me to look at this.
Yes.
It makes no sense to do that. So that was really not my start of tax preparation, tax planning, but it was a good example of somebody who's telling me this is tax deductible. Now, and we're going to talk about three different kinds of taxes and accounts, but
okay.
One of them is taxes that you're paying on accounts that you have today.
Okay.
And that would be like bank accounts, CDs, which a couple of years ago we used to call certificates of disappointment.
Right, you're right, that's true.
Money markets, brokerage account that is not in IRAs or mutual funds or whatever. But at the end of the year, you get a 1099 from the financial institution that says you have to pay income taxes on that pile of money. And that's a taxable account. And ideally, if you're doing some tax preparation, we want to have less taxes in the future with proper planning.
Okay.
And that puts less pressure on your portfolio and really gives you more freedom of retirement money, if you will, because tax-free, my dad used to use a term called more better. He said, tax-free is always more better than taxable. I said, yeah, sure is. So
I love that. I love that. More better.
So that's taxable accounts. And I think the next kind is tax deferred.
Oh, tax deferred. Colin, let's talk about tax deferred account. What does that mean exactly?
You don't have it all. You don't get to keep it all. I think our government kind of gets creative in their wording of tax deferred. It's delayed, it's deferred. Either way, you have to pay it. You owe somebody money, and they want it, unfortunately. And we start looking at that. We look at our 401ks, our IRAs. It could be 457 plans. A lot of those qualified plans from work. Well, we paid the tax. What that they want to take from us. Well, as we deferred this throughout our lifestyle and throughout our life, and as we go into our retirement time, Uncle Sam now wants his money. Well, now we're looking at strategies on the best ways to take this out of the least pocket that's going to cause the least amount of pain. And what we mean by that is let's look at tax mitigation strategies. What strategies can we look at right now that could potentially lower our tax footprint? Because we lower the tax footprint while you're in the retirement years, that's more money and assets you keep on your side of the ledger as opposed to Uncle Sam's.
Okay.
And we want to do that. It's we do.
Right.
I haven't come to anybody had a conversation with anybody yet that have you gotten a Christmas ham or Christmas turkey from Uncle Sam to say, hey, we've been a big supporter of ours. You paid your taxes like a good citizen. Here's I hadn't even got a thank you card yet.
Right.
And,
right.
It's like, hey, what do we pay these for? And I heard there was a joke that I saw not too long ago. I said, we could change a lot of tax strategies if the citizens of the U.S. could actually write the checks to where they're going.
True.
Instead of to the U.S. Treasury, it's like, oh, well, if we're sending funds to overseas to fund something, well, that really doesn't involve me. Maybe I'll prefer to keep it here. That might change the tax structure, and now we're thinking of giving other countries money instead of keeping it here on our own. But when we're looking at that, that deferral, it's understanding that these are due. We have to do this. Now, what strategies can we put behind this that actually can work best for you? We know some upcoming things. The sunset provision is coming at the end of 2025 that we're going to revert taxes back to the Obama era. We're still currently in Trump's tax code right now, and this isn't to get political for either side of the parties, but Trump put us in the lowest tax rates the history of our country has ever seen.
Yes.
And this could be a great time to take advantage of that. We've actually have done this quite often over the last couple of years, and this is really looking at a strategy called Roth conversion, and this could be a possibility of let's pay these taxes now while we're in these low tax rates because we foresee already, and we know it without Congress doing nothing. And they're good at that. We know they're good at doing nothing, that our taxes are going to go up. And it's funny, when we host workshops all the time, and one of the things we'll poll the audience is, do you think taxes are going to go up or down? 100% of the time, without fail, every hand goes up. Taxes are going up. Taxes are going up. We're $34+ trillion in debt. We can't do that ourselves. It's funny seeing that. I think it was a meme not too long ago. It's like our government is worried about a citizen's credit score, when we're applying for a new car or a home, but what's the credit score of our country when we're $34+ trillion in debt?
Great question. That is a great question. Well, gentlemen, this is perfect time for us to take our very first commercial break, and then when we come back, I want to talk about tax-free accounts.
All right.